Hi everybody, it's Etan, and today I'm in Studio City at a super significant site for the history of all of California. This is Campo de Cahuenga, and on this site on January 13th, 1847, General Andrés Pico and Lieutenant Colonel John C. Frémont signed the Treaty of Cahuenga. Now, this treaty ended the hostilities in the Mexican-American War and paved the way for California and the rest of the Southwest to become part of the U.S. the following year. You can see the actual table where the treaty was signed at the Becoming Los Angeles exhibit at the Natural History Museum. Just imagine how different things would be if California was still part of Mexico. There's some ambiguity about who actually built the adobe where the treaty was signed in 1847. Now, for thousands of years, this land was inhabited by the Tongva Gabrielino tribe. They had a village nearby called Cahuenga, which is where we get the name Cahuenga. In the late 1700s, we know that a soldier named Mariano Verdugo was given grazing rights for the land right around here. So it could have been him that built it, or it could have been the Mission San Fernando Rey de España who took over this land in around 1810. So it's possible that native laborers built the adobe that used to be here for the mission. Either way, we know that in the couple years before the treaty was signed, the adobe was owned by a man named Eulogio de Celis. He was a prominent rancher and politician who owned almost all of the San Fernando Valley. Even aside from its history with the Mexican-American War, Campo de Cahuenga is a historically important spot. It was on El Camino Royale, the royal road that connected the 21 missions in California. And in the late 1850s, it became a stop on the Butterfield stagecoach route, which brought passengers and mail from Los Angeles to San Francisco and back. The original adobe was demolished around 1900. What we see now is a reconstruction from 1950, based on excavations done in the early 1930s by a bunch of high school students from, get this, the John C. Frémont High School in Los Angeles. Fast forward to the 1990s, Metro is doing a bunch of excavations on this site for a red line stop right next to Campo de Cahuenga. And they find the old foundations of the original adobe buried a few feet down underneath the soil. They know exactly what it is, and they figure the best way to preserve the foundation and the tile that they uncover is to rebury it, essentially. So what we see now that looks like these archaeological ruins, they are imitation ruins made out of the same kind of stuff that the original adobe foundation was. This is actually my favorite part. On the other side of the gate, stretching into Lankershim, they created an outline of the original footprint of Campo de Cahuenga. It's really cool. Inside the reconstructed adobe, you can see little bits of tile and brick that they saved from their excavations, along with other artifacts from the history of this place. It's a really nice little museum. Now, the Campo is literally across the street from Universal Studios. There it is, right over there. So the next time you're hauling the family up the hill for some overpriced amusement, stop by Campo de Cahuenga for a free history lesson. Thanks for doing LA with me.